Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Zach, aka Keats39 here to bring you another NBA DFS slate. 12 gamer. Not the biggest fan of these, but um, and we don't really have too much news yet. So like we have some starting news, but I'm gonna guess we get a lot more. But I'll go ahead and go in right into the top guys that we have going right now. First off, this ND OKC game is one that I'm really looking to target. We already know there's no Sabonis or Miles Turner. Goga Batadze is questionable, and no Jakar Sampson. So that's also wouldn't normally be key news, but kind of key for what they got going on right now. If you look at their depth chart, already know no Sabonis, no Turner, no Sampson. So that leaves Batadze, and I'm just gonna go ahead and click Brissett. He just signed a 3-year extension, which does show that they like him. So it's at least worth noting. But he's not really a true center. Um, as you see, DK doesn't even have the center listing, but he did go for 13-6 last game, so he's at least capable of playing minutes. If Batadze were to get ruled out, he'd become the best player on the slate. I'm guessing Batadze plays, and he himself is one of the best players on the slate. Really good shot blocker. Can shoot the 3 ball. He shot poorly last time and still put up 29 DK points in 23 minutes. That's just the kind of upside he's going to bring. I think he get close to 30 minutes. And then I think that so we have McDermott and Jeremy Lamb both questionable. If McDermott starts, I have a lot more confidence in him. He's been really poor the last couple games. I want to see him get close to this 30-minute mark, but he's going to be really heavily needed because they don't have much depth in the front court. But we all know he's a really good scorer, was one of the better scorers in recent college history. And he's shown moments in the NBA where he can, like, he's really good at cutting to the basket, really good jump shooter. So I just think at 3.9, this upside is really, really high. And then McDermott and even Karis LeVert both have really, really high ceilings here. We saw McDermott go for 38 points on 5 of 20 shooting last time out. Just another, and OKC turns the ball over a ton. They don't really have any true point guards. So that kind of thing really matches up well for Brogdon. And I could see them even going with a 3 guard line: McConnell, Brogdon, and Karis LeVert. And like this is the type of matchup that you could see TJ McConnell even have just one of those monster games because he's leading the league in steals and gets the best possible matchup really for that, and could get extra minutes with the guards so depleted. So I really like all of Indy. Um, then on the other side of the ball, Darius Baisley I find very interesting. I'd be more interested if Lou Dort were to miss, but his price is wrong. They're going up against a depleted Indy front court. Saw 38 minutes last time out. That's probably had something to do with Dort. But you just see, look at the shots, like 19, 15, 18, 18. At this price, you're not really getting that too much, especially at the forward position. Good passer. I'm just a really big fan of Darius Baisley in general. Like I've been on his train since the beginning of the year. Finally starting to play some good basketball. He's kind of blowout proof. Like we've seen, like this game, 28 minutes in that blowout. So not completely blowout proof, but I don't see that game blowing out just because of they're missing 2 very, very key defenders. They don't really have anyone like Batadze can. He's a good paint defender, but he's no Miles Turner. They just don't have big guys. So I could like even Moses Brown and Tony Bradley, I guess. Both I'm very interested in just because they bring a high ceiling in this type of matchup. Finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about is Xavier Tillman. Was really chalky last game. Got a boost from double overtime. But still, he would have played 31 minutes anyways. I don't know how many he played in overtime, so maybe it was even more. I didn't get to watch too much of that game, but I didn't play him because I was nervous of him matching up with Jokic, and that was a massive mistake as he went for 45, which is like 13x or something. So definitely, I got crushed on that slate. I'm a fan of Xavier Tillman as well. Every time that he's had a chance to play, I've hyped him up. Except this last time, of course, when he had his best game of the year. But he's really good. He's a little undersized, but that doesn't matter too much against the Clippers. As we saw last night, they won a lot of small ball as well. Um, but really good rebounder, good passer, gets defensive stats. He's not a great scorer, but he's shown like last time. He has the ability to when he needs to. He didn't have a 3-point shot really at all coming into the league. And seeing that he's hit 2 of 3, 1 of 1, 2 of 4 in the last couple, um, makes me feel even stronger about the play. And so this game originally, like you have no Valanciunas, which would scare you a blowout, but the Clippers don't have Kawhi Leonard either, so makes you just feel a little better about that. That the Grizzlies can hang around. Um, but yeah, then like so that there's those are like the value guys I'm mainly on right now. Honestly, the studs like you can make arguments for any of these three. Oh, this is kind of recent. I didn't know he was questionable. Could end up being really big news. I guess I'll just talk about that quick. Ben Simmons missed yesterday, so did Tobias Harris. If they were both to miss, as well as Joe Embiid, Dwight Howard would become an easy lock. I'd imagine they'd start him. Um, Shake Milton would be the next lock, like those two guys. I guess it'd be interesting because we just saw George Hill make his debut. It'd be interesting to see the starting lineup. I think Shake Milton would be my favorite because he is the best playmaker. Seth would be coming to play, playing on the ball more. One guy that I would normally never talk about is Danny Green, but I swear every time he just randomly gets a bump when those guys miss, like he just not even a bump in usage, he just makes shots and gets more defensive stats. I swear it happens every time. But yeah, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and be around for lock for especially those news because that's going to be pretty big slate deciders. All those guys are pretty cheap. But yeah, that's going to do it. Later.